You sound like Scooby-Doo.
Scooby Snacks.
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards. Jamie, what's up, man?
Ah, my voice went away.
Snap out of it there, sunshine.
Hello, the Scooby Snack time.
How you doing? Pretty good?
Pretty good.
You glad to be back?
It's time. Oh yeah, love Boston, but you know, McDonald's cost you $60.
You get them McDonald pancakes?
Yep.
And Jamie got his son settled in, or I guess not really settled in, but
Got him a place to stay for grad school.
yeah. So, Did you take the Prius?
No,
Oh, man.
took the wife's big SUV.
They wouldn't ride in the Prius. Like, we became Cannonball Run champions this year in that Prius. They didn't want to experience.
Well, when I started seeing
Georgia
the
to
furniture
Boston.
being suggested, there was no way.
Yeah. Prius is not good.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna work.
Could have taken the trailer.
Could have, should have, but we didn't.
You could have built your foamy, and he could have just spent the semester in a foamy.
There's not a Walmart nearby to let campers park.
Oh, I couldn't live there. If there's no Walmart, I'm not living there.
They had a Target under this
Yeah,
big giant
no.
building.
Under it.
Yeah, it was the first floor. Like first floor Target, and then boom, boom, boom. I think it was mixed use, which I didn't know what it was
Mixed use.
until
Does
I Googled it.
that mean men and women can both shop there?
Well, they had a men's, women. I had to pee when we were there.
Oh, so
But you know, you go to the big city, you got to go get an employee, and they punch the code in so you can get in because they don't trust anyone.
yeah, I saw a dude post that on social media. He's like, I'm standing here at whatever place.
Yeah,
He's like, and the
Target.
bathroom code is 8318. Come blow it up, y'all.
Well, I mean, she said they're all full, and I'm look. There was they had the, I don't know what you call it, binary bathroom for people.
Family restroom?
No, it just had one of those terms.
Binary? Non-binary?
Yeah, I just told her I identify as one of them. Right, I had to go bad.
I identify as whichever one's empty.
I had a big giant, the large McDonald's coffee.
Oh, so you had to pee.
Yeah, I had to pee bad, and I had water, and we hadn't got the apartment yet, and I saw they had a keypad, and I didn't have a code, so I asked the attendant there, the employee, how do I get in? She goes, oh, I'll let you in, and she went and said, oh, they're occupied. I said, I identify as that. She said, oh, okay.
They can't argue with you.
No, so
That's the beauty
dude,
of
it was probably cleaner than the male's or female's bathroom.
There's probably less people
Identifying.
identify as that bathroom. You just happen to have to pee really bad, so you identified as whatever got
They
you
call
into
it
that
like
bathroom.
multi-gender though.
I mean, what?
So I was like, okay, I can get in touch with my feminine side occasionally.
Well, I'm just glad you made it back.
Anyway.
I'm just glad
I
you
got
made
to
it back.
pee. I got to pee in the Target.
I'm glad you made it back. I mean,
But you know, I'm not complaining about it. They were very friendly people, the Target. Very helpful.
you want to explain the headwear you chose for today?
I got this when I was 9 years old.
It's
When I went to an Orioles game at Memorial Stadium, their old stadium before the fancy Boomer Stadium.
Yeah.
And they're in first place, have been for like 2 or 3 weeks. And it was
Yeah.
probably when I was 9 years old that they actually were good. When
I
Cal
didn't-
Ripken, the greatest, you know,
I didn't even know baseball season had started.
no, you didn't. But, you know, this beckons back to the time of Cal Ripken, the glory days, the greatest baseball player that ever lived.
The one you named your dog after?
Yeah, Ripken. He's orange, just
Your
like the
dog's
Orioles.
orange?
Yeah, like the Orioles.
Isn't that your Twitter picture right now, Ripken?
I think so. You texted me and said change the Twitter picture so we can get clickbait, and I thought, well, everybody loves a cute dog. I didn't quite understand what you're saying.
He didn't read the whole text.
You can't send it to me on a Friday night. That's when you can get wacky with some drinks.
Whack you with some drink.
Yeah, you can get a little inebriated. And, in our business, you're going to get calls Saturday afternoon. But they're probably getting inebriated too.
You know you're getting a phone call on the weekend.
At least
especially
one.
right now.
Well, when I took some days off to go to Boston, I worked harder on those days off than some days the prior week. Because, people hear that you're on vacation and go, well, he'll answer me. And about the fifth time they call, they're like, oh, I'm looking at it going, it must be an emergency. I better answer. And it's not.
No. Like, do you have this thermostat in stock?
Hey, I'm looking for a package unit.
I need to get some PVC elbows. Do y'all sell those?
And I said, what did the branch tell you? Oh, I guess I could have called them.
Nah.
And I'm like, well,
Why
don't
would
worry.
you do that?
The wife is driving. I'll look it up for you.
That's funny.
Well, customers do come first because how else do we live?
I mean,
you do what you got to do.
it's just part of the job, really.
Yeah, our job is 24/7, 7 days a week.
Sells, you just got to sell. That is
Yeah.
what it is. So we're going to start doing something new at the beginning of every show. We're going to just thank a listener. Thank somebody that we know listens to our show and pretty much dedicate the whole episode to that listener each week. And we know a lot of, if you're listening, you've never reached out or talked to us, hit us up on
Do it.
Twitter. We're on Facebook now. You can find
We
us.
haven't figured it out yet. I actually asked some high school friends to be my friends.
We're
and they
trying
have
to get-
not. I don't think they're on Facebook anymore. They haven't even accepted my friends yet.
It took forever to create our Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast page on Facebook because apparently using the words race
Did they
and
think we were being
backwards
racial?
in a page was offensive. That's all they said was it was considered offensive. So I had race
Did you
car.
have to appeal?
No, I had Race Car Spelled Backwards as the name of the page, and it kept getting kicked back as offensive. I went in and added podcast to the end, and it worked. Right, so we're on Facebook. Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast.
Did they think you meant race card
I don't-
backwards?
I don't really know, man.
Huh.
I don't really know how it's offensive, and either way, we got it figured out. So if you've never reached out and talked to us, by all means, let us know you listen. We greatly appreciate everyone that does listen and watches the show on YouTube.
And we're on our
message in the content.
We're on our way to 1 million subscribers, Brad.
On
YouTube.
We started at 1, and now
Man.
we're where we're at.
We're higher.
Heading, we're past 2.
Yeah.
We're killing it, man.
We're on our way, man. We're
We've
going to
been-
get 1 million.
Eventually, that's the goal, right?
1 million, yeah.
So this is episode 71, and this episode, of course, we're going to dedicate this one to Eric and Janet. Y'all.
Aren't they going somewhere special for Thursday?
See, that's why I thought it would be a good time to dedicate this episode to them, because as they listen to this, they'll probably be in the car heading to the SRX race in Eldora.
I saw on the Twix.
Well,
I saw you were tweeting, Twixton. Well, I don't even know what to call it anymore. The Twix?
Exton. Is it Xing?
Well, he must be my
You can't
generation.
say
He
Xing.
likes X so
You
much.
can't say Xting.
Xting is weird.
Sounds like sex.
Triple X would be pornographic. I'm just going to go with Twixting.
Twixting.
I saw on the Twixter you were having a conversation. And you know what? I forgot how to contribute.
Did you?
Yeah, I was going to say something and I was like, hold it.
What button do I hit for this?
Do you hit the heart to say something?
Oh, man.
It's that bubble thing, isn't it?
You're going to have to hire a personal assistant just to teach you how to do social media posts.
Dude, I haven't been on Facebook in so long. I was confused.
See, I got off Facebook like March of 2020 and hadn't been back on it until last week. So
I ran for an office and started a page, and it asked me when
you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow Jamie on Facebook. You can find our page on Facebook. It's all on there now.
my political thing asked me to friend myself, but that's the account
But
they
you can't log
they
in to
banned me
approve it.
from because I said I was a conservative.
Democrat.
I just said conservative. I
Oh.
think maybe I said a conservative. I didn't run as one. Well, I ran as a conservative, but not as a Democrat. Anyway.
Yeah, that ruined
Instead of getting into
for me.
politics, Facebook decided a conservative is bad. and they banned me. But now I ask no, it's a suggestion. Facebook suggested me to friend myself. Then I found my
And then
original.
you didn't approve yourself?
I don't think so. Then I found my original Facebook from like 2008 that I forgot the password on, and they asked me to send in my driver's license and social security card. Then they told me that wasn't me. So I'm not even, I can't even, and that was a suggestion to friend myself. But if I friended myself, how could I accept myself if that's not me? It's all puzzling.
Well, I went on there to tag Jamie in our post on Race Car.
Did you tag one of my old
podcast, and I sent him a picture. Like, which one of these James Sparrows is you?
Well, there's like 10 legit
and they had
cousins.
No, I'm saying the ones that had your face on them still. From all your other, you had your school board one and 2 other ones. I mean, we figured it out.
Yeah, we figured out that I can't access those 2 accounts. Thank you, Facebook. What's that weirdo that's a lizard that's head of them? What's his name?
Oh,
Jeff Bezos?
No, Sepestos is the Amazon dude.
He's weird too.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Zookstar.
He's related to the race car driver from Formula One.
Really?
I don't know.
Is there a Zuckstaburger?
Zuckstaburger.
Van Stuckstaburger.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Australia.
Van Zuckerberg.
Dude, I need to get a haircut. I'm like 3 months late. Look, I got shit just... What the hell?
Stick out of your hard hat.
Yeah, what the heck,
Safety first, Jamie. All right, so a Japanese man named Taco, who identifies as a dog, went for his first walk in public recently because he enjoys getting stroked by strangers.
Ooh, I don't even know what to say about that one, Brad.
Taco paid $15,000 to have a realistic collie dog costume made for him custom.
That's a lot of money.
Do you think it's weird or cool?
You know what?
I hope you think it's weird.
You know, Quaker Jesus told me, you know what? If other people are happy, good for them.
Nah.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Is,
it's weird, but you know.
Find the look up the video. It's easily findable online. His name's Taco. He's from Japan, and he dresses like a dog. It's huge. I mean, it's as big as our counter here.
I like to dress as Ben Franklin. Is that
weird?
He lets
strangers rub him.
I mean, depends on where you're rubbing.
You like to dress like Ben Franklin, but you're not laying at the park on your back letting a stranger rub Ben Franklin's belly.
Well, according to his biography, a lot of people rubbed more than his belly.
You're not standing there with a sign saying, "I'm Ben Franklin, rub my belly." Which I don't think he had a sign anyway.
You'll serve some time on that one.
So this is my question about this whole thing. Is he doing this just for attention?
Well, he got it.
Or does he really feel like he identifies as a dog? Because if that's the case, dude needs to be put in Arkham Asylum. They got plenty of room for him, I'm sure.
Oh, I say, as long as he's not hurting anybody or molesting children, why not? Go for it, Taco.
I mean, I could care less.
Or is it Taco?
I have no. It's spelled Taco, T-A-C-O.
Well, in our industry, there was a Taco circulation pump. You don't think so? It was spelled the same way as Taco. Is that Taco? I don't even know how to spell, Brad. So.
Taco, T-A-C.
Isn't there an A? Yeah.
There is an A, T-A-C-O. That's Taco.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I got spotting on my brain right now. So.
Spotting-fied?
Yeah, I'm Spotified.
An Israeli man arrived at a medical center in Beersheba.
Hey, Jesus went to Beersheba in the Bible.
Oh, Beersheba was a lady in the Bible.
Oh, Bathsheba.
Isn't that a racetrack?
Why was she called Bathsheba?
Isn't that a racetrack?
Bathurst.
Bathurst, okay. So this dude shows up at a
That's
medical...
a Beersheba, a drinker.
Okay, he shows up in Beersheba at the medical center after reportedly cutting off his own penis and flushing it down the toilet.
Ooh.
So an Israeli man...
I hope it was a clean flush when he threw his penis in there.
The Israeli man... Yeah, he goes to a medical center because he cut his penis off.
Did he say why he cut his penis off?
Because it hurt.
It hurt?
Yes. The man
told... Did he break it?
The man told paramedics that he had been suffering from an untreated pain in his penis, so he cut it off.
Okay.
and flushed it down the toilet.
Did it work?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I would think that would be pretty painful.
I think that pain would cover up the other pain, I guess.
Wouldn't you just ask a doctor to cut it off?
I mean,
why would you?
I've never experienced anything in my life, any pain or anything that made me think cutting my penis off and flushing it down the toilet was a good idea.
Maybe you had a bad case of the gono.
Still,
having not had the gono, I don't know, but maybe.
I'm not ready to part ways with it. So I'm not cutting it off and flushing it down the toilet. But apparently this guy had the police reach out to the Israeli waste management company to see if they would be able to locate this man's penis after he flushed it down the toilet.
It went to all the sewage from the people in Beersheba. That's a ton of shit your penis is floating in.
Well, the sewage company responded back with laughter.
They probably thought it was fake.
They're like, that's what I was thinking. Like, there's no way they believe this.
What would you do? Right? Get a fishing net to get it out? It would have to be a real tight net, though. I'm sure it's the only penis in the sewer plant.
You think it stands out?
It depends on how big it is.
Like, what is that thing there? Is that a worm?
Oh, no, it's a snake. It's a moccasin.
There's a worm in the poo.
That is gross.
Nobody in their right mind is going to go.
You know, don't you think you would treat it as like a finger you chop off with a chainsaw by accident? Wouldn't you put it on ice and go to the emergency room and go, hey.
This wasn't an accident. This man didn't accidentally cut off his penis. He intentionally snipped. You think he used a knife or you think he used scissors?
You know, we don't get paid by this company, but, you know, dude, call BetterHelp.
Yes.
If you don't like your psychiatrist, they'll give you a new one.
Honestly,
according to the ads of the other podcast,
the majority of the stories that we read on this show and talk about,
I feel bad for the guy.
Most all the people could use some better help.
I mean, that is right there. There's something wrong, either physically or mentally. And maybe you should have got a second opinion if he had it treated with a physician.
I'll be honest. I think there's something mentally and physically wrong with him. He was mentally unstable, but then he cut his penis off, so now he's physically.
He could have DM'd you and me on the Twixter, and we would have said, "Don't do it, dude. Don't get treatment."
I just
get fentanyl. Do you think they got a fentanyl problem in
There's
Israel?
No way, man. Like, I wouldn't even be able to get the knife and the pants at the same time. Like,
dude, I see something on a movie where someone gets kicked in the nuts.
It hurts.
Yes. You go, hurts. Oh.
So you know.
Dude, really. Still get help, Mr. Penis Beersheba guy.
Yeah, he's an Israeli man from
Beersheba.
Beersheba.
Was that one of the major?
Maybe that's how you say it. Beersheba. Russian. Beersheba. All right. A woman in Georgia is.
Oh, that's local.
She's suing Popeyes Chicken. Did I say it right?
I think it's pot pies. Popeyes.
A woman in Georgia is suing Popeyes.
I think it's Popeyes.
We're never going to be able
I don't go there because I hate chicken.
I'm not a fan of Popeyes Chicken. So a woman.
So you said it right then. So, is that the dude on the cartoons of my
Popeye the
dad and grandfather probably saw? Is that him?
I don't think it's the chicken place though, because he was into spinach, not chicken.
Oh, that's probably they're from Louisiana. That's probably how they spell pot pies. Chicken pot pie.
Popeyes.
Chicken pot pies.
Papayas. It's not Greek. All right, so a woman is suing Popeyes Chicken after she said an employee ripped her weave out. Did you say she was
swimming in chicken? Popeyes Chicken? She's rich. She can fill up her pool with Popeyes.
She said employees ripped her weave out. So she's suing Popeyes Chicken because employees ripped her weave out after she complained that her food was not made correctly.
So I don't know what a weave looks like. Does that mean the employees knew what a weave looked like, or they just grabbed her hair and her weave came out?
I just think the guy at the Popeyes, he's like, nah, you're holding up my line. So the lady who's suing said that she went to Popeyes to feed her children, and the order was wrong, so she went back through the drive-thru. she didn't feel like the employees were listening to her when she was trying to explain at the little speaker box what was going on. So she pulled around to the window. Well, apparently at Popeyes, there's a timer on each car. So she was screwing up their whole timer thing. And I guess apparently that's also, like corporate knowledge. So you can't screw up your line time. So the employees got mad, ran outside, jumped in her car, and attacked her, ripping out her weave, leaving her with a bald spot.
I'm on her side on this. They jumped into her car. That's crazy.
Oh, I'm 100% on her side. I don't even think she needs better help.
No, she needs a new Popeyes.
They need better help because they have anger issues,
Wow.
apparently.
They're probably not there.
Popeyes.
You think it was a Popeyes around here?
There is a Popeyes. It's not Popeyes.
Papayas. Popeyes.
You gotta
It's
say
Popeyes.
Did you ever watch the cartoon?
Popeyes? No, it's way
Did you say Popeyes the Sailor Man?
Scooby Doo.
Popeyes.
I don't think Popeyes was on when I was
Popeyes
a kid.
the Sailor Man.
I think my grandfather and father
It's
saw
pie
it.
pie. It's like pie, American pie.
Isn't he from like the 1920s and 30s? Popeyes?
I mean, probably, but you
I mean,
should know how to.
I know he had the
Popeye's pizza. I mean,
he had spinach. I knew that.
Popeye's chicken is. I think that's Louisiana, isn't it?
Yeah. There was a girl. I know his girlfriend's name, Olive Oil. I went to high school with a girl that looked like Olive Oil. Physically looked.
Tall and skinny.
With a weird little button nose, yes.
With a button nose.
And she was like wearing wearing Mennonite dresses down to her ankles.
Frosty the Snowman.
She might have been doing some Frosty.
Mennonite. You had a Mennonite olive oil?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Did she know? So she probably never seen the cartoon.
She might have been Quaker since I was at a Quaker church.
She might have been Quaker.
But that's the kind of stuff that gets us confused.
We were at the Quaker church.
It gets us confused with the Mennonites. We're not the same.
No, it's the Quaker Oats guy that gets you confused with the Mennonites.
Well, kind of why I like being Ben Franklin. It's kind of getting in touch with my roots, isn't it?
So you're pro Popeye chicken lady. Me too.
I'm for. They jumped in their car. That just expelled she could have Karen'd on them. Jumping in her car just put her back to neutral. They went in her car, came after her. Sue them.
She'll win this lawsuit.
Call Morgan and Morgan. Also not endorsed. They don't endorse us.
They support racing.
Yeah,
they sponsor.
They are. They're an Xfinity. We need to see.
I call Harry Potter.
We're gonna come up with a media packet. See if Morgan and Morgan will support us.
I'm sure they will.
Doesn't he look like a jovial dude on the ads?
He scares me on the.
What about where they paste his face in front of a real baseball player on the billboards?
Or they paste it on the dude in the swimming pool, sitting on the pool float. Like,
but they also do wrestling too.
The big muscular dude. So you got like a 60-year-old dude's face on a.
They support UFC.
Oh, I've seen that. All right, so we're talking about lawsuits. Let's go on out to California.
Oh, they sue everybody there.
A couple in California is suing Uber Technologies after they were both stabbed multiple times with a machete-like knife after one of the passengers got sick on the ride home. Police did say that there was no alcohol involved.
Was the guy carrying a sword with him? I would say no. I'm not picking you up.
Well, so the passengers, they said that on the ride home, one of them got motion sickness and got nauseous in the back seat of the car. They offered to pay double for the ride home and pay for a deep cleaning of the back seat of the car. The driver, as they tried to make this offer, just kept getting agitated, screaming obscenities, and forced the couple out of the car where he started stabbing them multiple times.
Oh, it was the driver that stabbed him?
Yes.
I thought Uber had a policy against swords and guns and things.
They puked in his. Maybe they have a knife and gun policy, and that's why he was carrying a machete. He's reading between the lines here. He's in the gray area. But they're both suing Uber because they're suffering from scars, emotional distress. I'm sure PTSD. Says they're suffering from self-confidence issues now. So maybe got
our friend, he's not making any money right now. He's moonlighting as an Uber driver.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's in
nobody,
Atlanta.
Right? He didn't stab nobody, did he?
He's kind of crazy though. He might carry a machete.
So you think they got a lawsuit or not?
Well, yeah, I'm on their side. If some dude starts coming at me with a machete and stabbing me, there's a problem.
And I don't know what
they claim. They do background checks on their drivers. Obviously, they miss some. Once again, machete dude in California, call BetterHelp.
That's what I'm saying.
I bet you Uber probably
most of our
pay for that.
Oh, definitely.
I can't speak for Uber, but I think maybe
they probably have a mental health policy. Like
yeah.
If you're mentally unstable, you're probably not supposed to be driving for Uber.
Our company has a mental policy.
I'm just guessing here. All right, so
it's weird.
Now we're going to jump over to China. In China, people are claiming that the local zoo is hiring people to dress as sun bears in their new sun bear exhibit rather than using real animals. What do you think?
Maybe the rear animal?
I showed you the video and the pictures of these
sun bears. That's a dude.
There, you can see the sagging of the costume in the
He's
back.
Wearing shoes.
He's standing up waving like this.
There's no way.
Hello.
A bear knows how to do that crap.
Hello. It's not a bear. So,
but is that some kind of war crime against Taiwan? Having a bear?
The Chinese are claiming that all their bears are real.
I think what they're doing.
Who really trusts China anyway?
Well, I think what they're doing is they're probably shooting their TV broadcasting over to Taiwan, get them used to humanoid-looking bears, and they're going to attack in bear costumes Taiwan.
Well, now they're just going to be laughing so hard that he's standing. I'm talking not hunched at all. These bears are. These bears have better posture than we do.
Well, I mean,
guaranteed. There's no way these bears are bears. And now a sun bear does look similar to these bears. I mean, they definitely got Taco's dog costume manufacturer.
I think I've seen a sun bear at other zoos. They're not wandering around like they're hitchhiking.
People claim that they've seen these bears eating noodles with chopsticks during lunch break.
Now,
other people say this is great. They're praising the Chinese for offering a job where their citizens can make a living wage while getting fresh air and exercise.
And apparently noodles at the
lunch break.
Huh.
Probably charge them for these noodles, though.
I would think they have employee discount, though.
An employee noodle discount?
Yeah, I would hope so. But you know what? Why don't they just have a whole zoo with these cosplay people? I'd probably pay for that. $10.
You know,
just watch crazy people dressing as animals.
Remember, I took my wife and daughter went to the Ed Sheeran concert, and I just kind of rode with them and hung out downtown Atlanta while they went to the concert, and they were doing a cosplay furries event.
Yeah, boy.
So I was sending Jamie. There was I
remember they were
a lady weird. Dressed like Bob the Builder, except she had on shorty shorts. She was. What do you say, 350, 400 pounds?
There were fishnets in her Bob the Builder outfit.
And bunny ears. And a hard hat.
And maybe she was Bunny Builder.
Well, then we had the other bunny rabbit lady who was the twin of this lady, but she was dressed like Hugh Hefner bunny rabbit lady.
Maybe some cosplay people could help out. We talked bear in China and then Beersheba in Israel.
It's Beersheba.
Maybe it's all related.
All related to the bear?
It's some kind of sinister
Beersheba thingy?
Secret society thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's a secret society if China's involved.
I mean, they're pulling strings, right?
So, a man in Michigan is brutally attacked and choked out by a police guard at the courthouse when he tries to pay his $10 parking ticket in all pennies.
But that's legal tender. Why can't they take pennies?
I don't know why they couldn't. And I don't think there's an issue with can they or can they not. I think they can take the pennies. They just don't want to. So the man went in earlier to pay with his credit card, but he didn't want to have to pay the $1.75 processing fee.
I understand that.
So he went to the bank to get the money.
That's a 17.15% fee on a $10 ticket.
So he goes and gets the money from the bank, later returning to the courthouse with all rolled pennies. Now, these were rolled pennies from the bank.
That sounds good.
I'm guessing they still have to open them and count them, though.
No, I think you can just take the roll and throw it to the bank.
Well, when he returned, the guard apparently recognized him at the metal detectors where you walk into the courthouse at, called him an offensive name.
Smartass.
Yeah. I knew one of us would read it, so.
Yeah.
And then he started to attack the man by hitting him, and he choked him out.
Don't a lot of weird stuff happen in Michigan? It's weird.
You can't pay pennies. We don't take no pennies. I mean,
what does the guard care?
Dude gets a $10 parking ticket and has probably turned it into a couple $100,000 payday.
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's suing the.
Oh, he might get $1 million.
He goes sue the city, the county,
and
the state,
and the security guard,
police department, and a civil suit.
Yeah,
I'd sue the manufacturer of the metal detectors.
I would sue the contractor.
I'd sue the pennies.
I'd sue the contractor who built that courthouse, because if the courthouse wasn't there, I wouldn't be there.
I'd sue the federal government for offering pennies still at the bank.
I wonder why we do that. I read somewhere it costs 2 cents to make a penny. Well, that's government for you.
You know why we have the pennies still? So if you go to amusement parks, you can still get your penny.
You can crush
smashed.
it for 50 cents?
51 cents for a crushed penny.
That should be illegal, though. Isn't that defacing public tender?
I mean, it is. There's not a money burning machine.
That's a secret
Stick this dollar in here and we'll burn it for you.
That's a treasury agent that needs to go to every Stone Mountain little penny crusher and every amusement park and take those machines from them.
The IRS will get them, man. They're making money on other money. Isn't that like
they're just printing money, isn't
this
it?
Gambling? This is illegal. Isn't this a Ponzi scheme?
No, the stock market is really just the world's greatest study of human behavior.
Isn't the Federal Reserve just a Ponzi scheme?
You know, they're kind of like not really part of the government either.
No, there's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve. It's a private business. It's crazy, huh?
And we all worship them once a month or twice a month and whatever.
All right, so a lot of these stories I get come up, I find the link to them at least on Reddit. But I stumbled across Ask Reddit. So instead of asking Reddit, I'm just going to read the questions and we're going to answer them. So you ask the internet and we answer them. The internet doesn't answer, we answer. So, Jamie, this particular person asked, would you watch a show where a billionaire CEO has to go an entire month on their lowest paid employee's salary without access to any other resource than that of that employee?
Oh, I'd watch that. That'd be so hilarious.
I think it would be pretty good, actually. I think it would be good for one season, though. I think they're gonna. Season 1 would be natural.
Isn't there already a show like this I don't watch?
Undercover Boss. That's kind of what I thought of. Undercover Boss was a pretty good show, season 1, but then I felt like it kind of got staged.
Well, that's what happened with me. I watched it for a year, and the next year, you're like, hold it. This is like the same script from the other guy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
How do they find the person with the disease
every time?
Yeah. So they're sending producers out in advance.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, but like this show here, they're going to do this for a month. During that month, the refrigerator is going to break, the washer and dryer is going to break, the parts are going to be on back order. You can't afford a new one. The
coworker is going to roll his eyes when they say management.
Car's going to break down. You're going to have to take the bus. The bus is going to break down, so you're going to have to walk. Your shoes are going to blow out. You'll have to buy new shoes. It's going to snow. You're going to have to walk uphill both ways in knee-deep snow, all while living in Mexico.
Pretty much. That's where we make most of our stuff now.
Exactly.
Sure. Why not?
So,
and deal with the cartel when your car breaks down. Have to walk to the factory in Monterey.
And that'll be season 2. Like it's going to get, I think it would be good for one season, but we would, like other sports that we know of, are going to dig deeper into the entertainment value than the realistic value. All right, here's the next question, Jamie. If hot cocoa powder is made from chocolate powder and dry milk powder, then isn't it just instant hot chocolate milk?
I would think so.
So isn't chocolate milk and hot chocolate just the same thing? hot chocolate is just chocolate milk warmed up. So why don't you just buy a jug of chocolate milk, pour a glass, and heat it up in the microwave?
Makes sense to me.
Why do you mix cocoa powder and dried milk powder?
Well, now you're on a subject like chicken. I really don't like milk either.
That's true, you don't. You don't even like dry milk powder?
I have to get a supplement for my...
That's dry milk powder. Do you use almond milk?
No. That doesn't make sense to me either.
We have a listener, Lance, and he says every time he eats his cereal now with almond milk, all I can think of is me describing how to make almond milk by just chewing almonds up and squishing them around in your mouth and spitting them out. That's how you make almond milk.
Well, I eat almonds daily.
So why wouldn't you drink almond milk if you eat almonds?
Man, it doesn't add up.
I just, like I've said on this show, you can't get milk out of it. There's no teat on an almond.
I tried squeezing the nipple on the end of my almond.
And no milk came out.
No milk came out. So,
Lance, I'm sorry. You cannot get milk
what do you do?
out of
Get
an
a sledgehammer and crush it and
just
slurp up the little bit of moisture in it?
It doesn't work, Lance. Sorry,
I think they run water through like tea bags of almonds.
I think they're making almond milk in prison, and they make the prisoners chew up the almonds and spit them in a big old jug, and then they boil that.
Well, then they wouldn't have
regular milk, and they call it almond milk.
It'd save them on that water.
Then they puree it, blend it, strain it, and ship it out.
I just ain't ever going to drink that crap. Holy cow. That's a horrible picture you just painted.
The next question that was asked on Ask Reddit was, if you had a coworker who put meth in your coffee, would you report this to upper management? My issue is I am worried about being fired for failing a drug test for meth if I report this individual to upper management.
I would say yes. You probably will. So this is what you do, Reddit dude or dudette. You wait until you pass a drug test. They have a whole section at the drugstore. I've seen them waiting for my prescriptions to be filled. And when you pass the drug test, my Viagra. I'm on generic now. It's called Agra.
It's that 2 hours.
They took the V out of the Vi. It's just Agra.
Could be Pfizer. Izer?
Pfizer Agra. They're the ones that did the original.
Oh, yeah.
That's the OG Viagra.
What's the new commercial? Peronis. No, that's a disease.
No, that's all. Yeah, I've seen the Peronis.
That's when your wiener curves.
Your wiener has the wrong curve.
It's going the wrong way.
Hey, people see you coming. Well, that's just wrong, isn't it? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Before you walk around the corner, just add that little asterisk there.
Your wiener turns the corner before you do.
Yeah.
That's Peyronie's disease. If your wiener is turning the corner before you are, you might have Peyronie's.
But is it Peyronie's? They show the banana.
So if your wiener...
Or what is it?
If your wiener's yellow and curves like a banana, you might have Peyronie's.
That makes things difficult if you want to have some activities, doesn't it?
Especially if it's like going right. What if it goes right and you go left?
I guess you could position yourself so that you can enjoy things with other people.
So, methamphetamine.
Do you think they just made up Peyronie's and it's not real?
Well, I think it's just another... Look.
They found a drug.
NASCAR has their target. NASCAR's like, we want younger people to watch.
I wish the Peyronie's
commercials during a NASCAR...
Yeah, it's 55 plus.
Yes. It's like every disease known to man, medication.
Have you seen that
disease,
cartoon
ED, and hair loss.
Have you seen that cartoon one where the girl can't poop and so they show her digestive tract with a pink poop in it?
Yes.
And they always play it during the race, during dinner time.
So that's what
I'm sitting there eating nachos and I'm like, oh my goodness, what the hell?
So according to USA and Fox, NASCAR fans that are women have a problem pooping, and that are men are either going bald or have Peyronie's disease. According to the TV stations. That's what they're saying, right?
Your weenie is sideways and you can't poop.
So if a coworker...
Can a man not poop? Why isn't there a man on the pooping thing?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for
it. I don't poop when I drive on long trips.
I hope not.
Because I didn't eat anything either.
Unless you're at a Love's and you shard on the wall.
Ugh. Love's is a little rough. I stopped at Love's.
Only in Arkansas.
I stopped at Love's.
Take a selfie.
I will next time.
At Love's. Post it on the
I'll
internet.
post it on our Facebook page once we figure out how to. Do you think maybe that's why we're having problems with Facebook? It's the boomer generation that's all into it.
Maybe.
I mean,
that don't make no sense.
I think I was pretty good at it, like in 2008 when I last quit.
I mean, there's nothing to it. Facebook was giving us problems this time around because
I couldn't figure out how to request a friend.
Well, they thought we were you just click on request. It ain't that hard.
But how do I?
This is coming from the guy who wouldn't vote in the Jeff Gluck poll because he had to click a Google link first.
How do I?
That's two clicks. I'll do one, but I'm not doing two.
How do I find my friends? I have to remember their name.
You don't know your friends' names?
Oh no.
Well, then then in that case, you wait on them to friend you, which they think.
I think I have on my
you.
new account. I think I have 3 friends.
They think you've already.
It might maybe 4 since we friended.
Yeah, I'm your friend now.
Yeah.
Me, Jody, Jim, and Dave.
But then I click on other people.
Do I need to get Denise to be a friend so we can get you up to 5 friends?
Oh, I thought you guys had the same account.
No.
Oh.
All right, everybody listening to the show. Jamie needs friends on Facebook. Go request to be his friend. And if you can't find him there, I'll tag him in Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast page or something.
Be careful, though.
There's like
I have
Jamie
like
Farrows.
13
James Farrows.
cousins, first, second, and third cousins with the same name. There's even one Jamie Farrow on there.
He's the one that looks like this guy.
Oh, do I have my face on there?
Yeah. On the one the new one.
I have a bigger
face.
fold hanging off my chin then.
Yeah, that was like 60
40
pounds ago.
40, I think.
40?
Yeah,
I was giving you credit for 60. You could have taken it.
Oh, I can't keep up with lies, so I try not to tell them. I can tell a big story,
but not a little lie.
I can't tell. I'm too dumb to keep up with them.
All right, so let's get back to the coworker with the meth. Would you or would you not report coworker for spiking your coffee?
Dude, that's pretty low.
I would report them because I'm getting fired.
That's low.
I'm getting fired either way because I'm gonna whoop somebody's butt. That's fighting right there.
Having never done meth, I mean, I don't know how they were feeling after they did the meth, but that's you should not drug someone not without them knowing.
No, that's like
that's not right.
LSD or the
PCP thing,
clam chowder.
Yeah, it's just wrong, man.
All right, last question from the internet. Why is it okay to kill a cow or a pig, but the second you have sex with a cow or a pig, it is considered animal cruelty?
So this was on Reddit.
Yes.
So this person had sex with a cow or a pig. Okay.
So why is it considered...
Better help.
It's not considered animal cruelty to kill them, but it is to have sex with them. That is their question.
Obviously, they're not Jewish because they don't like anything to do with the pigs.
I said because God gave us the animals to eat, not to have sex with.
Huh.
So that's why. And it's PETA. I mean, if you don't believe in God, then PETA.
Worship PETA?
People eat the animals. It's not people have sex with the animals. They eat them.
I mean, you watch the BBC show, all those British shows, they talk about sheep shaggers and buggers and all that, and I've Googled them. So apparently, I mean,
bestiality is
from the Middle Ages, that was a thing. But I think it was even wrong.
It's in the Bible. You ain't supposed to do it.
Yeah, I think it was wrong from the beginning.
No bestiality.
Is it in there?
I'm pretty sure.
It's not one of the 10 Commandments, though.
It's on the back.
It's a subtext.
You flip the tablet over.
Well, it does say
on the back.
Not to covet your manservant, your neighbor's wife.
Exactly.
Or their sheep, or their pig, or their cow.
Their cow.
Yeah.
So
it's technically in there.
Yeah. So, dude, like you said, we're assuming it's a dude.
Could be a woman. I don't know.
Either way, sir or ma'am, it is animal cruelty to have sex with a pig.
Once again,
or
call that company we're not endorsed by.
Yes. They better help you because you need some better help.
This
is not better help.
I mean, and I'm not really even talking from experience, but
I hope not.
You see these barflies
Barflies.
Like that lady we saw up at Wilkesboro.
Yes.
She was obviously, and I've been out of
She went
practice.
from Applebee's to Coach's to Lowe's.
Grocery store.
Grocery
It was a
store.
nice grocery store.
Very nice.
Fancy.
Probably nicer than the whole
But
county.
she was obviously on the hunt for something. A lover.
You sure?
I mean, someone as ignorant as me could see this lady was looking for companionship.
Yeah, she just wanted love.
I don't think she was. She would have been at the farm or the farm auction if she was into cows or pigs. I mean, you could just go to the Lowe's supermarket in North Wilkesboro, and
Okay.
you could meet her. And there was some dude there talking to her. So
Ninja, meth ninja we saw across the street at the Walmart.
I mean, come on, you don't have to do animals.
The homeless ninja.
Yeah,
This dude comes out of the woods in his
no
underwear,
shirt on,
in his
with
underwear,
nunchucks.
and does karate on the corner of the Walmart, and then runs back into the woods. Like
So-
he does a karate show, and then he runs into the woods.
I firmly believe for every human being out there, there's a human being for them,
Not an animal.
not an animal.
Well, I did see. I don't know if this is true. Or you're not watching the news right now, so I can't even ask you. But I saw online that it said in California that they have introduced a bill into
So you can have sex with sheep?
so you can have sex with children that are willing.
What?
I don't know if this is true or not. It's just, I saw it
I
on the
say no.
I saw it on the Twitter. I never looked into it.
Oh well, that means it's legit.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on
Wow.
Twitter, it has to be true, right?
Yeah,
That's like Wikipedia.
ask Elon.
He knows.
He knows something.
All right, let's talk about some racing, man.
You mean the Twixter?
All right, so don't forget, sometimes crap, it does happen. And sometimes you need a plumber to fix it. In that case, we would call Danny Carden Plumbing, the official plumber of the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. The guys you call when crap happens. Not the Twixter. We're going to talk about
That was a long race, dude.
talk about the 2-day Michigan race. I want to congratulate Chris Buescher on getting that's 2 wins in a row for RFK. That's pretty dang cool, man. Last week was a short track. This week's a long track, a 2-mile
And
track.
a long race.
2-day, 2 miles. That's a heck of an endurance race.
That's insane.
So, I mean, and it's not just Buescher. Brad Keselowski ran good too. I mean, Brad ran up front.
I
as well.
saw Noah wreck, and even the guys calling the race said Noah wrecked, and then they said it was Josh Berry. What's the truth? Was it Josh Berry?
I think we
Or was Josh Berry identifying as
Was
Noah?
or was Noah identifying as Josh so he could race in that race?
'Cause
Ooh,
since
now
I don't-
we've added a whole nother layer to this conspiracy.
I don't do news anymore because they're just selling hate. I'm not trying to create hate, but what's going on here, Brad?
a lot of hate.
Wow.
Hey,
I don't like.
so that's 2 in a row for Chris Buescher. My question now is, does this make RFK the strongest Ford team in the field now?
So out of all the Ford teams,
Just out of the 3 top ones, I would say Penske, RFK, Hendrick.
How many wins does
not
Penske
Hendricks,
have?
Harvick's
One?
team. Stuart Haas.
Penske has one, right?
Joey has a win, and
That's
Blaney
it.
has a win.
Oh yeah, so they got 2.
Yep. RFK has Chris Buescher just won 2 in a row.
So that's one driver.
Brad Keselowski finished 6th last week and 4th. at
Brad's
Michigan.
top 10 almost every race since
Both
the
drivers-
All-Star race.
I mean,
And Stuart Haas has
both
zilch,
drivers
right?
are pretty much locked into the
Stuart Haas
playoffs.
has nothing.
0 wins at Stuart Haas.
And this is our last year with Harvick.
Correct.
And, according to the guys calling the race,
it
Barry,
might be their last year with Amarillo by morning.
we were there.
I
The
know.
$100 steak for free if you can eat it that weighs 100 pounds.
Yep, that's it.
People might be having sex
For
with that
75
steak.
miles, you see the biggest stake. So we know Corey LaJoie is going back to Spire for a multi-year deal. We also found out today that Michael McDowell and Todd Gilliland are coming back to front row. So what happens to the 10 car?
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but
I'll try not to.
Corey LaJoie is a pretty boy.
How am I? Are
He's
you,
a pretty man.
you trying to make me feel bad or something? I'm not sure how I
Oh.
would take this the wrong way.
Well, Janet will take it the wrong way, maybe.
That you think Corey's pretty?
He's a pretty man.
I mean, you think he's pretty, or do you think he's handsome, cute? What, I mean, pretty is the word you're going to go with?
I'm going with pretty here. He's a pretty man.
He's a good-looking fella. How about that?
He could probably do some modeling, probably.
He's a handsome young man.
He could probably do some Calvin Klein if they were
I didn't like the
encouraged to do
I didn't like the long hair, honestly.
the mullet.
Yeah, I don't like. I can't. I'm just not a fan of the mullet, man. I'm bald, so a mullet be a skullet with me.
And I am, not into men, but he's pretty.
So have you heard them call a mullet a Kentucky waterfall?
Yeah, I have heard that.
Do you know what people in Kentucky call it?
Normal?
A Mississippi pisser.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Stenhouse had one too.
A Mississippi
I see
pisser.
it. I see it.
It's a mullet. So people
Wow.
in Kentucky, they're not going to be using Kentucky waterfall. That's negative towards the Kentuckians. So
And the
they call it
waterfall.
They call it a Mississippi pisser. I like a Mississippi pisser better anyway.
Mm.
That sounds a lot better.
Well, even Stenhouse looks better without it.
Exactly.
There was a time for
So,
it called the 90s.
Good job, Corey.
It's
Good
over
job,
now.
Ricky.
Yeah, you.
Truex, dude, was way too fast.
I'm shocked he
I
didn't
put on
win.
Twitter, I said,
Wow.
Truex is lucky that they don't take cars back historically
it's
to
X
R&D.
It's X.
Sex?
X.
True sex?
No, Twitter's X now.
Oh. What did I say, Twitter?
You said Twitter.
Did I?
It's gone.
It's
Twixter.
Okay, the Twixter. The Xter?
I don't know what do you call it when you X now? You X'd?
Well, I know it's not.
Texted.
You can't retweet anymore. It reposts. So is it just posting now? That sounds so boring.
Why'd he do that?
I like Tweeter.
Elon. Well, I like the little.
I'm sticking with Tweeter.
Yeah, let's do that.
If we're not going to change to the Canadians, the Washington Commodorians, then
Let's call them the Washington Canadians.
let's call them the Washington Twitters.
There we go. The
Then
tweets.
We'll keep Tweet alive.
They could put their little blue bird on their helmet.
Yes,
I like
And that's
that.
not
That's a
even
good
a
idea.
the Washington Tweets.
I mean, they got new ownership. They might consider that.
Bunch of twits out there playing football.
The Commodores. Is
That's
that
way
a
better than
band, a
Commodore.
pop band from the 80s? I think.
No, I said on Facebook, it's a good thing that NASCAR doesn't take cars back to R&D.
How many Facebook
Dude.
friends do you have?
I don't know.
How do you even tell anymore?
I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm gonna have to ask my wife. She'll probably know.
Yeah, my wife knows.
So
too, I'm
with
sure.
Ford the last 2 weeks, I mean that was 9 in a row for Ford at Michigan. So
Well,
Ford
they are headquartered there.
Ford runs good on tracks like Dover, tracks like Richmond, tracks like Phoenix. So does this now make Ford the championship favorite? Because I don't know that Rick Hendrick is any more the championship favorite. I mean, Kyle Larson either finishes top 5 or he wrecks out. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, William Byron, they might as well have stayed at home yesterday. I mean, it was just, and it's killing me on our fantasy team. I mean,
They didn't get past the first day, did they?
no. So
Okay.
does that do you think Ford should be the favorite going into the championship now?
I'm going to have to say it's still going to be a Chevy or a Toyota. It might not be. It might be an RCR car.
If Chris Buescher wins at Indy,
There's only one driver for RCR.
if Chris Buescher wins at Indy, it's done. He's the championship favorite.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, a driver can win one race, and you can call it a fluke.
2 in a row is
2
hard.
in a row is not a fluke,
No.
and it's on a Richmond shorter track, and then Michigan,
Intermediate.
a 2-mile track.
Yeah. So kind of super speedway and little baby mama.
Tyler Reddick, he's set up to have a pretty good run yesterday. Actually, it looked like Tyler Reddick
Kind
could
of
have
been
possibly
bonkers there
win.
for a little bit. But, his tires haven't been put on in the last few races.
Crew messes up on a pit stop yet again. Tyler Reddick,
They own that crew, don't
he
they?
lost it.
Don't they own that crew?
Yeah, this is their
It
crew.
ain't a Joe Gibbs rental, is it?
Bubba Wallace had issues on pit road yesterday. No, these aren't rentals. These are 2311 crew members.
So Tyler's got one win. Bubba has been racing at the front quite a bit until he has to go to the pit road.
I mean, Bubba's been gaining. If you look at the points from yesterday, Bubba gained stage points yesterday. Bubba had a good points day yesterday.
Have you noticed he hasn't been in any controversy and he's racing better? You think maybe he's noticed that?
Yeah, Bubba Wallace mean, he got 6 points and finished 18th.
I think his wife calmed him down.
No controversy. I mean, and he does better with no controversy.
I think his wife's calmed him down, though. She has a calming effect on him.
Maybe.
Well, he might, ask her to think about something before he does something crazy.
I mean, women have a tendency to calm us down.
Well, they also piss you off, too, though.
But they calm you down, too, so.
They put the economy down?
You
said they put the economy down? Ooh, your wife's going to tear you up tonight. Wouldn't want to be in your house.
No, if you think about it, think about how you acted
blaming the whole economy
before you got married. My wife spends money like I do, and like you do, so she ain't destroying our economy. Ryan Blaney has a heck of a day, as well.
He's destroying our economy.
He is definitely destroying He's destroying Chevrolet.
Everyone else too.
I think Ryan Blaney is out. If I can't win in a Ford, I'll just wreck the Chevys.
Do you think the Ford family's giving him a bounty to wreck Chevys?
Yesterday, Ryan Blaney wrecked Kyle Busch, took him out of the race. Got into Corey LaJoie, about took him out of the race. And under the red flag, LaJoie had some things to say to Ryan Blaney. He was not happy about Ryan Blaney's move.
LaJoie's been in some fights lately.
Well, do you have a problem with what Blaney did, or is this just hard racing?
Well, having seen it, I think it's hard racing. They're on the razor's edge, and he lost it.
And these cars, it's really hard to pass in. So
you take what you can.
Kyle Busch got out of the car and said, back in the day, drivers raced with more respect. Well, back in the day, the cars passed easier.
Well, we didn't have this playoff system back in the day either.
No, but you could pass back in the day.
Or stage points.
Exactly. So I think each position means so much more now than it did back then. I don't have a problem with what Blaney did.
Don't you think before we had the playoff system, it was your top 10 guys that had a chance to win a championship would fight it out. And the other guys are like, we ain't going to win anything. Save our equipment.
That's how it used to
be. Made for boring racing.
You think Chase Elliott makes the playoffs now?
No. Well, let me take that back.
He's got Indy Road Course.
Two
Watkins Glen, Daytona.
And the Roval. Well, the Roval's in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, you got 3 races before we start the playoffs. You got Indy Road Course this weekend. You got Watkins Glen.
So old
Daytona.
Old Chase, I would say yes. I don't think his head's in the game this year. I think he's mailing it in.
I think Chase wins Watkins Glen.
I just spent $57 at Napa. So I'm helping him.
Well, maybe he will now. Now that you
on the way here,
you spent that 57, so now he's got a little extra boost on the sponsorship money.
Yeah,
he'll win Watkins.
So I guess technically we're endorsing him.
We're calling it right here, people. Because Jamie spent $57 at Napa today. Chase Elliott will win now at Watkins Glen.
And that Napa stuff is sitting on your property.
And if he loses, it's because you didn't spend $60.
Well, if they would sell his hat at Napa, I might have spent another $25. Napa.
Hey, speaking of racing at Indy this weekend, I think Monday, from what I was reading on Bob Pockrass's tweets or X's,
we don't even know
what I was reading. And they're testing this car, the next gen car. They're testing it on the big track at Indy.
I think maybe there's going to be next year a next gen car.
You think we're racing on the road course again, or we're racing at Indy?
I'm bored of the road course.
I'm bored of Indy altogether.
I like those little turtle things where they wreck.
I think
Turn 1's awesome.
Indy,
but they changed it.
They want to talk about Indy being a crown jewel. The road course is definitely not a crown jewel, but to me, Indy's not a crown jewel to me. It's a IndyCar crown jewel, but not a Cup car crown jewel. It's just, I know it means a lot to these drivers to win at Indy, and that's great.
And I want to experience Indy.
I want to experience Indy for the Indy 500, though.
Not for NASCAR.
No, it's not the same to me.
Just like you need to experience the Daytona 500 in February. Once in your life. That's a bucket list.
If you never went to it, you need to.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Coliseum was pretty darn cool, too. I think you should experience that.
If you're in California and you're listening to us, do you think non-racing fans listen to us?
Probably. We talk about racing for like 20 minutes.
That's true.
I saw Jeff. I haven't listened to Dirty Mo, Door Bumper Clear yet, but I want to because Jeff Burton made a comment during the broadcast that spotters weren't as important anymore as they used to be because of the technology with these backup cameras.
Well, doesn't he read the label in his mirror when he's
Maybe
driving down the
that's
road?
Harrison Burton's problem.
Objects in mirror may be closer.
Maybe that's Harrison Burton's problem. Maybe
He doesn't listen.
he's listening to his dad and he's thinking these spotters aren't important anymore, so he's just driving with the flipping camera there, and that's why he's doing so bad.
Yeah, sure. I agree with that. Because he's obviously doing something other than looking out the windshield.
I've listened to these spotters at Atlanta. I've listened to them at Charlotte, the new Atlanta.
Are they going, Harrison, are you there?
No, I'm just saying these
Are you
spotters.
there, Harrison?
If you listen to the spotters on the radio, they're working. I don't think you listen to TJ Majors at a restrictor or a plate rate, whatever they call it now, super speedway style
You think
track.
Harrison's spotter now when Harrison goes, hey, where are they?
Look at your stupid camera.
And he's like, yeah, look at your camera. You think I do?
Your dad said,
I only do quarter of the work. You've already used your limit.
Yeah.
I'm done.
sorry, dude. We're
Going
on
home.
stage 3. You're on your own, bucko.
Meet you at the plane.
Martin Truex Jr. will be returning next year. I don't think this is a surprise to anybody. The way Truex has been running the last few weeks.
Bass Pro CEO and founder loves him. So he's got a sponsor as long as
It's the
he
perfect
wants.
sponsor. Like,
Well, he just said when he retires, he's got this boat he wants to buy.
Bass Pro Shops and Martin Truex go together like
All he does is hunt and fish if he's not driving.
peas and carrots.
Yeah.
It's the best matchup ever.
Chocolate peanuts.
And butter
Peanut butter.
and jelly.
Never had a peanut butter and jelly Reese's.
Oh, what's my
Let's
peanut
talk
butter and
about
jelly sandwich?
the
That's
minis.
my favorite.
My favorite's those minis, but it's got to have not those mini minis that don't
No.
have the wrapper on it.
Yeah. I
The
know what you're talking
minis you got to earn by opening up the wrapper, taking the cup.
about. Yeah. I like
off.
to take the bottom off
Yeah,
and then eat the chocolate part.
that's
second.
the perfect mix of chocolate. And
The
peanut
regular
butter.
Reese's to me is also good.
Not the thick one.
No, not the
No,
big
the
cup.
regular
The
thing.
regular. I
Yeah.
can do the big cup too, though. I don't mind the big.
But have you ever gone to one of those sketchy
They're
gas
always melted,
stations where they got half
You-
their shelves are empty
If you go to a
and
sketchy,
you get the worst thing in the world is a
Yes.
dried peanut butter cup.
and if you look at the dates, some of them are 2 and 3 years old.
Yeah.
You be careful. The best place to buy candy, like a big name gas station like QT or Racetrack, I'm sure.
Remember that creepy place?
Wawa probably has go. What's the northerner one?
Loves
Shits.
shits, yeah.
Isn't that what it's called?
They're in Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Yeah.
shits.
That's probably a reputable one, but
Shits bought my cousin's truck stops when
If
he went
you go-
bankrupt from being in NASCAR.
Bucky's.
Bucky's probably has good turnover. Quick Trip, probably safe. Racetrack.
You think it'd be
Not Raceway.
Racetrack?
Racetrack.
Raceway sketch.
Yeah.
Loves. I'm sure they rotate their candy in and out.
I think they get eaten enough they have to restock.
Yeah. But you go to like
Walmart, everybody's got a
those-
bag of candy when they're checking out at Walmart.
what's one of
They're
those
probably
shady
safe.
ones? Gas stations you think of?
Low bucks.
Something like that. Like an
Well,
old
that was the name.
Texaco.
The only reason I remember that, coming back
Grands.
from the 600, we stopped at that gas station and there was no one in it.
No,
And so we went across the street to the Quick Trip.
remember the one we stopped in on the Cannonball Run where there was nobody in it, and we like went to the bathroom and ended up leaving because we couldn't pay for anything.
Yeah. That was like one of those low bucks.
Yeah, that was all they had. All right, I guess we got to talk about Noah Gragson. Legacy Motorcycle Club has suspended Noah Gragson for liking a meme.
So is NASCAR.
And then NASCAR decided to indefinitely suspend Noah Gragson. And I hate the word indefinitely. I think NASCAR wants him to do sensitivity training, then they'll unsuspend him. So just say
I
he's
agree with
suspended
that.
until he does his sensitivity training.
I
Just
agree
say
with
that.
Like Larson.
I think what Noah Gragson did, I think it was a bad decision. It's tasteless. Immature. He represents a lot of people, a lot of different brands, and his team. Unfortunately, he is in the public spotlight.
He's young, though.
You got to be careful, though.
It wasn't smart.
No. But do I think it should end his career? No, I don't. I think he needs to learn from this. I hope he grows from this. And I hope he comes back from this. I think.
But how are things going to get better if we don't have teachable moments? This
Exactly.
should be a teachable moment
Correct.
where we don't tell. I mean, he'll have a chip on his shoulder if he never races again.
Well, I think a lot of this has to do with legacy going to Toyota and Toyota wanting John Hunter Nemechek in the car. I think because
Well, there's
Toyota
always
wants John Hunter Nemechek, this gives Legacy an easy way to get Noah out of his contract without having to pay Noah out of his contract.
Well, they always have a behavior clause in their contract.
Exactly.
I mean, unfortunately, Noah gave Jimmy the ammo.
100%.
I mean, sorry.
And Jimmy's going to do whatever he can. Jimmy's out to prove something. Jimmy's out to prove that he can win without Chad Knaus. So far, he hasn't been able to do it. He couldn't do it in the Cup Series. He couldn't do it in Indy. And so far, he hasn't done it as an owner. I'm hoping that Jimmy can prove he can win again. But he's out there trying to prove he can win without Chad Knaus right now.
I mean, my fear is that he's kind of gotten rid of the other living 7-time. Yeah. The King has knowledge. I don't care if he's 89 years old. I don't know. I don't know what Jimmy's doing. I hope it works out for him.
I do too. But I hope Noah finds a ride.
But I really liked Eric and Noah on the team.
I like Noah. I think Noah has a huge personality, and the sport needs that kind of personality. Noah made a mistake. I hope Noah can grow from this. I hope he can learn from this.
He's repentant.
And I hope he can come back better.
Yeah, and not.
But where does he go? So I'm thinking Xfinity probably.
The worst thing is that when you're young, I mean, we're not in the spotlight. I did stupid things when I was young.
No doubt.
And I'm sorry for him now. I know better. But when you're in the spotlight, you make a mistake like that, it's on you. Like a stink. So
you change as you grow.
Yeah.
And you should.
I hope he learns from it.
Your mistakes.
And he doesn't take the sensitivity, Noah.
Yeah, just fix it. Make it right. All right, Jeff Gluck's poll. Was it a good race? 86% of the people said yes.
I enjoyed it.
14% said no. Jamie, what do you think? Yes or no?
I don't know if I'd say 8.6 out of 10. I'd give it 7's kind of difficult.
I'd say 7.
The problem was that gap. We need to start driving in the rain.
Well, we don't need to race at tracks without lights. Like, they had lights at other tracks. I'm tired of us. Look, ever since NBC's taken over, it's flipping rained every weekend, it feels like. And we're having to move races to Monday because we can't keep postponing them at night because we don't have lights at these tracks.
And I'm not picking a side here, but with this
get the lights
climate change, whatever. Some people might call it El Nino out there in the ocean causing this. It doesn't matter. The fact is, we're going to have to start racing in the rain or we're not going to have any racing.
We got sprinkle tires. Put them sprinkle tires on, get out there and run.
Yeah.
Why not? It worked at Charlotte. We saw them run.
Put big screen TVs
they
on
ran 3 and 4 at Charlotte. And that was a monsoon. That was legit rain on the Roval that year. And they're running turns 3 and 4 wide open. No problem.
Giant TVs down in the mezzanine.
You know how entertaining it would be?
Yeah, because we saw in Chicago. It was awesome.
Yes.
I mean, let's do it. Look, give them brake lights.
If entertainment's what matters, let's make it entertaining.
Hey, they can cut out the sticker and put an actual headlight on there.
I think we should make them drive one-handed.
Okay.
One arm behind their back.
On short tracks.
Or blindfolded.
On short tracks.
Let's turn Richmond into a figure 8.
Let's do it on dirt.
Let's turn Richmond into a figure 8. I want to put dirt on Texas.
You know, I am still amazed about our buddy at Door Bumper Clear's dad being a figure 8 champion.
That's pretty cool.
That's insane. That's some manly man stuff there.
Like I said, you got to have an extra set of balls to do that.
Yeah, or 2 or 3 extra set.
All right, Jamie, going to Indy this weekend. Where would we not want to stay if we were actually going?
And there was a lot of food for thought.
Do you know that most hotel chains have at least one person die a week in their hotels across the world? And Las Vegas sees this on a daily basis. And
so when we were in Boston, we went to Panera Bread.
Somebody died?
No, I wanted to die. Someone had poured in, instead of the light roast at Panera, the light roast coffee,
Yeah.
they poured in the hazelnut. To me, it tastes like maple syrup.
Ooh,
So I got the biggest coffee they had. I get to our hotel room.
it tastes like Canadian coffee.
Yeah, it was gross. It tasted so nasty. But I wasn't going to drive the 2 miles back to get the right coffee.
I'd have tried it before I left, I think.
It really pissed me off, Panera.
So they say that if a guest dies in a room and it's not a brutal or gruesome death, that they'll just remove the body, clean the room, and put the next guest in. And the lady had...
Isn't that what they do at my house if I die at my house? Clean it up, drag
We're
me
talking a
off.
6-hour turnaround.
Well, okay.
How would you feel about crawling in a bed that a man had just died in 6 hours prior?
As long as they change the sheets and the bed covers.
I don't know. I feel like you should disinfect it somehow.
I don't think what you don't know won't hurt you kind of situation.
I mean, I guess, but so front desk employees have admitted that if you're rude to them, they'll stick you in a death room. Just to get a laugh out of it, I guess.
Okay.
I think it's...
Well, let me
These rooms are nasty anyway, so...
Let me give a little review on my trip, because I stayed at a hotel going to Boston. I stayed at one in Boston and at a hotel coming back.
Oh, you did get one on the way back?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Radisson in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Nice.
Old, tired.
Yeah.
Staff was great. Made up for it.
Just outdated.
Just outdated.
Needed a fresh coat of paint, some new sheets, and a bedspread.
Did a comfort suites. Bed sucked.
Oh, I'm sure.
On the way up, just horrible.
Clarion.
Room was clean. I think that's part of the Choice family.
Yeah, it is.
And I went to school with the CEO's grandson of Choice Hotels back in the day. They were nice people, even though they were billionaires.
That
Very
doesn't
nice.
happen very
They
often.
didn't give me any money, though.
So where are we? What hotels we got this week?
Well,
we're not naming them, but what reviews we got?
We got Johnny B. wrote
Johnny B. Good.
at a hotel in Indianapolis. Because Johnny B is female.
Oh, okay.
Because if you look, she says, she gave it a 1 out of 5. Worst place ever was the title of her review. My husband, a truck driver.
Jamie's reading this word for word.
As they wrote it,
100%.
he's had his truck at the Thermo King down the road. I went in the small office with him to check in Z's. She's, with a Z, charged $sign after the 60.
That's weird.
Maybe she's not from America.
Maybe it's $60 signs.
Which is average. So she knows it's average.
No.
I apostrophe S. So she owns it.
Okay.
Doesn't that mean you own it with apostrophe?
That's ones.
Ownership. Eyes go back to get a receipt, so when could be reimbursed. So I guess the trucking company, W-E-N, Ween could be.
So Ween could be reimbursed.
She looks at me and tells me I have no business in the room with him. I said, she actually said it right there. I said I was right here when Weeze with a Z checked in. Obviously.
You can tell they're doing this intentionally.
Later on, since I already read it, I'm thinking maybe this is the education level they have where she's from. Obviously, I wasn't hiding. If I goes into AX for a receipt, then she tells me she needs more money because I'm with him. She was very rude and unprofessional. She had the nerve to ask my husband if it was WAZ by the hour or all night. So the husband went with her to get a receipt, I guess.
Maybe.
That's rude to insinuate. I think she got that right. That I was a prostitute. I say, you calling me a hooker. She say, If you, not why you dress like one. And that's what she said. Why you dress like one? She say your mouth look like you gonna suck start a B-52. Then she says, I tells you, the double O, capital, I don't use what's with a Z. I need some gas in my car. Goes, I think that's goes, G-O-Z. Goes, G-O-T-Z. Got some mighty suction, S-U-C-K-J-U-N, dare, like John Deere. Deere. Mighty suction deer. I reach over the counter and grabs her hair and jerk her head onto the counter. I couldn't believe.
Believe. I don't believe
That
you.
kind of ties in with your weave.
Be
We
weave.
do this without consulting each other. I couldn't believe she calls the cops on me.
Poo-poo.
Poo-poo,
Poo-poo.
gets D-E-R-Z. I think that's DERS.
Durs.
Gets DERS.
Durs nuts.
And they take me in for assault and solicitation. That's not solicitation.
Solicitation. Solicitation.
I told them
Listerine.
I was with me husband. Popo said your husband into some weird stuff den. D-E-N. I told him these my good Golden Corral clothes, not hooking
My
clothes.
Golden Corral
Clothes, not hooking clothes. Neber again. I don't.
got no buffet clothes. You got your buffet clothes on, you know. These are my buffet going clothes. You better back up.
Neber again.
These ain't my
N-E-B-E-R.
These ain't my hooking clothes. These are my buffet going
Is she
clothes.
saying she ain't gonna hook no more?
No, I ain't hooking. I'm going to the buffet. Does this look like I'm hooking? No, I'm buffeting it.
Now I feel like there needs to be more information here.
I want to know why she
'Cause she
got
goes
her
straight
Golden
up
Corral
to
clothes
talking-
on at the hotel.
She's talking about the mattress after this. Also had a king-size mattress on a queen box spring made for a very... how did she do such a nice sentence there? Uncomfortable sex and sleep. Oh, she went back
Sleep.
to her OG.
I sleeping.
I slept. No, that's not.
sleep.
She's trying to do
Sleep.
past tense for
I
sleep.
sleeped.
I sleeped indeed in nicer single wides in the trailer park, in Kentucky. We treated peeps with more respectfulness, and I ain't hooked in a year and halves.
Year and halves.
H-A-V-E-S.
Is that 2 halves? Because then it would be 2
Yes,
years.
it would be if it's 2 halves.
I haven't hooked in 1 year and 7 halves.
I's married nows and respectful. Okay. I tain't gonna put up with it no
Did you
more.
say taint?
She said tain't.
I taint.
I tain't gonna put up with it no more.
Taint.
We's talking about going to TA church one's days and starting a family O-N-Z. Uns, me, herp z's, settles ends. I-N-Z.
Huh.
Herp z's.
How does your herpes settle in?
I don't know.
Once I get used to living with herpes,
I don't have it.
we're
I
going
don't
to
have
have
it.
some kids.
But you know, as we were talking about Noah, she's trying to turn a corner because apparently she did hook
Like Peyronie's disease.
in Kentucky. In Kentucky, you know, I've watched that show with Raylan Gibbons
Oh, yeah. Justified.
from Hazard County,
Just-
Harlan County.
Harlan. I like
I'm
Bo-
gonna
I
say,
like Bo Crowder.
I'm saying she's from Harlan, maybe.
Maybe she works at the trailer park hooking yard.
She used to.
At the Bordello.
Yeah, she did say single wives.
She's been in nicer
It's-
ones.
They treat people with more respectfulness there.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Good for you. Sorry you got treated so bad. That's too bad. And got charged with solicitation.
The next one says SWAT team, but my dyslexia really threw me off on that.
So the next one, and remember people, when you go somewhere to see a race, read the rooms. 3.8, maybe.
Yeah, the
Go
taint-
for higher.
The last one said taint, and this one's got the SWAT teams in
Yeah.
there.
For some reason, it's a 1 out of 5. It's via mobile. It was real important that he tell us this.
I'm glad he.
And I'm assuming it's a man. But via mobile, besides the room smelling strongly of cigarette smoke, meth, urine, bloodstains on the wall, as if someone was murdered in it, not to mention the mushrooms growing on the carpet.
Were they magic mushrooms?
Doesn't sound like he tried them.
Well,
It was dirty too. He just explained that it was dirty. It was more dirty that he didn't want to explain more. He didn't want to go into more detail, maybe?
There was blood on the walls, urine on the floor, and also the room was dirty. Just so you know, it was a dirty room.
Gangs of thugs. Most gangs are thugs. You don't have to add the thugs.
They're just being over.
Just milling around doing nothing good in the parking lot.
Well, at least they weren't doing anything bad.
Flashing gang signs to anyone that looked at them.
Was that like a light up neon sign they got? Gang,
Yeah.
gang,
Yeah.
gang. Like that
Maybe the name of their
signs,
gang.
SOS.
The Orange Peels
Yeah.
of Indianapolis.
Okay. That sounds dangerous.
Baggies just laying on the ground.
Like
Used
pants?
needles. Men and women laying on the ground drooling and moaning.
With the baggies?
Probably. Eyes rolled back in their heads. I had already paid, so it was a little late when I had my WTF moment.
No, it ain't. It's never too late. Trust us. It's never too late.
I needed a place to stay
No, you didn't.
as I was waiting for the first to move into my new apartment.
Oh, well, thanks for letting us know that. I'm glad you got an apartment there.
You know, sure, okay. Never mind. There were no other motels available, and this was what I could afford. Oh, well, okay. That happens.
If it's what you can afford, it's what you
Yeah.
get. And then you
Yeah.
can't complain anymore. At
This-
that point, in my opinion, you can't complain.
Well, I'm thinking maybe he's trying to help other people. Because later on, we're going to find out that he is in the military.
Well, he's helpful.
Yeah, he's being helpful. Most military people are helpful. I needed a place to stay. Oh, I already read that. There was no other motels available, and this is all I could afford. I already read that.
Yeah.
This was my deciding factor into parking my truck at another motel down the road that had 24-hour security. And I walked to my hotel. That was actually pretty smart.
So we know he's not dumb.
No, that's pretty smart. He
He's
probably
not
did a
it.
drive-by and
Not
said,
it.
yeah, I'm not parking in that parking lot with those gang signs. The
Flashing
neon
on.
sign, it says gangs here.
Gangs on. Gangs on. Gangs on.
I have just been assigned as a self-defense instructor at the Naval Surface Warfare Center Crane Division. So I guess there's cranes in surface war
I guess.
in the Navy.
Man. Boats are big. You need
You
a crane to
know,
lift
I'm
them.
from a Navy family. More power to you, Mr. Mobile Guy.
Yeah. Boost Mobile.
Huh.
Worked for me. Or,
And then, this is just random. Yeah,
yeah.
I failed out of the SEAL training. So I did the next best thing. I became an SWCC. Then he explains it. I Googled it. This is kind of badass. Kind of. Not quite SEAL level. But he's a special warfare combatant craft crewman.
Okay.
So he's on those blow-up things with the blow-up rafts with 500 horsepower motors and machine
Yeah.
guns. He's on that.
He's a driver.
At least when I looked up special warfare combatant craft crewman, that's what it showed me. One of those inflatable rafts with 250 caliber machine guns and a 500 horsepower outboard.
These
That was-
people who write these reviews obviously don't have friends because they talk to the review like they're talking to their friend on the phone.
Yeah. He says, I've upped my game in training and will try out for the SEALs next go around. I've mastered 4 martial arts.
Nice.
Does that mean he's a quadruple black belt? I think so.
So he is officially a masturbator.
I would think, yeah. But with that many martial arts in a combat situation, do you get confused with which moves you should make since there's 4 different moves? Or do you combine them to the most efficient, like Bruce Lee?
Taiwan, Jitsu, Karate. Like that?
So, yeah.
Bing, ching, bang, bang,
You ever watch the Kung Fu or the Bruce Lee documentary
No.
on Netflix?
I don't like Netflix.
I'm basically saying I'm Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Is that a movie?
That was a TV show, I think.
Kung Fu Panda.
That was a movie, yeah.
Where they eat the dumplings.
He says I'm ready.
Okay.
So he's ready to be a SEAL again, or
Good.
just ready? So since 6 of these thugs decided to dance, I think he means fight.
Probably.
I don't think he's doing a West Side Story here.
I
With the stilettos tied together, I think he means fighting. It was more than I could hope for. So he was excited.
He was ready to
Yeah.
fight.
I find it funny that people think there are no rules in fighting. There are none. When it's life or death, and it's not on the mat training, in my opinion, it's life or death on battlefield or streets. I agree. Yeah. Needless to say, my training kicked in. Which one of the 4 did you use, though, is what I'm questioning. The police were called. Now, see, I wanted more of a story of his karate combat.
Yeah.
The police were called, and the video was decisive. See, he didn't mention there were video cameras before either.
He was recording.
Oh, maybe he had his phone out, or
He was TikToking.
he rented this place on purpose and got
he knew
a sports camera on his chest.
He knew what he was getting.
Yeah.
There's 16 different video angles. Like, this wasn't staged.
Like,
You had a producer and a camera crew following
he's really
you around.
from an ex-not SEAL from Barstool Sports, but he was in the Navy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I put on a clinic on how to take down multiple combatants. He's very proud of himself.
Sure.
Once a gun and knife were pulled on me, I decided to pull mine. Some gangster, not a thug, a gangster. So some new guy arrived.
Yep.
He's
done beat all the 6 thugs. He beat them up.
Yeah, the gangster showed up.
Now the gangsters are
When he
showing up.
pulled his gun, he said, "Why do you bring a fist to a gunfight?" I replied, once I had drawn, I brought my gun to a gunfight. Now it sounds like a bad movie, doesn't it? No.
I brought my gun to a
He
gunfight.
did that Bruce Lee move where he pointed at him and said,
Whoa.
I brought my gun to a gunfight.
I brought the gun to a gunfight.
I thought they were just having fun. Now you have to go and get serious. I went to bed once the police had left. He left so much out, dude. So much interesting stuff.
Yeah, was he just let go at that point?
Yeah, I guess it was self-defense. At 1 a.m., I was awakened by 6 or 8 police pounding on the door.
Duh.
I thought they came back for me, but they were in the room next to mine trying to arrest one of 5 people inside. So he's very observant. He saw 5 people in there. Do you think he did some stealth action?
He left out like 200 words.
Did some recon?
This is a quarter of a story. I'm gonna need you to write the rest of this, please, sir.
Mr. Via Mobile.
Yeah, via mobile. Can you fill in the blanks?
Finally, the SWAT team arrived and convinced him and the others to surrender. Good Jesus. It was a hostage situation? What's going on here? It turns out he was a felon wanted in a shooting that morning. I guess he didn't shoot anybody in his combat, so it wasn't there. The police came back at 3 a.m. with a dog looking for drugs and tossed the room loudly. The manager would not compensate me at all for virtually a sleepless night. Never again.
How do you expect this man to sleep when they're in his room looking for drugs?
You can't give us so many little clues without telling us the story.
Yeah, that's just rude, sir.
I think he was.
I gotta know, man. I need to know.
He was bored.
You karate chopped him and then you quit?
He was bored in the No-Tell Motel.
No tell motel.
Holiday Inn. And he made this up.
That's what for me.
But that's what I feel like. Sorry, sir. Thank you for your service. I don't doubt that you were in the Navy.
But that's what I think about a lot of these reviews we read. They're made up.
And it could be true.
I just feel like if it was true, it would be a little more believable. It's only because we went from dirty, blood-stained urine walls to failing the Navy SEALs to becoming a boat driver
with machine guns.
To
delivering Navy SEALs.
Identifying gang member thugs in the parking lot flashing neon signs to getting into a fight with 6 thugs.
Beating their ass, supposedly. We don't know. He doesn't give us any details.
You pulled a gun. Then SWAT team shows up, searches your room, brings the drug dogs. There's 5 other random people in the room with you that you didn't know about. Sir, this is so far from believable, it's probably true.
So I tied this into racing. It's kind of like the France family explaining why they do things in NASCAR.
Yeah.
So
this is why we're
this is their distant cousin that joined the Navy.
This is why we're so consistent. It's the SEALs.
Yeah.
We'll blame it on the thugs in the parking lot flashing the gang signs on and off. Stop turning the gang signs on and off.
I'm surprised the gangsters didn't pull their gun and knife sooner.
Exactly.
Hello? Why hurt your hands with Mortal Kombat?
When you could just shoot them.
Yeah.
be one and done, over with.
Yeah.
All right, so as we said earlier, we are racing in Indianapolis at the Indy Road Course this weekend. The race is going to be at 2:30 on NBC. We're on the big network this week. And on the radio, it's going to be on the Indianapolis Radio Racing Network.
Really?
Sirius XM. Yeah. So I guess
They got their own radio show?
Apparently. It'll be on
Well, how do I listen to it?
on Sirius XM.
I don't have Sirius.
On the app, I guess. I don't really know. It's a 2.44-mile road course. We've raced here 2 times before. Last year's top 5 was Tyler Reddick won the race. His average finish out of the last 2 races are 11th. Austin Cindric finished 2nd with an average finish of 5.5. Harrison, Don't Need a Spotter, Burton finished
Should we
3rd.
put words in his mouth since it was his dad, though?
We're going to.
Okay. Because
Todd
he drives like his dad.
Todd David Gilliland's son finished 4th. Bubba Wallace finished 5th.
Hold
with
it,
an
Brad.
average
I want to
finish of
interrupt you.
9th.
I want to interrupt you. Between his dad and Harrison, how many championships do they have?
Let's see, they got that 1, 2, no, 1 minus 3, carry the 4, A equals MC 0.
So we had sponsors on our Cannonball Run, right?
Yep.
That makes us professional drivers?
I mean, yeah,
Technically.
we're champions too.
And how many champions have we won?
So we have one.
got one.
We have more championships than the Burtons.
Yeah. At least Ward's a Daytona 500 champion.
Ward.
I've read this article,
Ward Burton.
or maybe I saw it on a podcast or listened to it while I was driving for 20 miserable hours. But when Ward won, they canceled all the media activities for him because
nobody
no one
could
could
understand
understand him.
I was on Dale Jr.'s podcast.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's give
canceled all
credit
the
where
media
it's
'cause they
due.
couldn't understand him.
Where it's due.
That's hilarious. All right, so Bubba Wallace finished 5th. His average finish here is 9th. Logano finished 6th. His average finish is 20th. AJ Allmendinger finished 4th. I mean, man, I got that all messed up. Allmendinger finished 7th. Average finish 4.0. McDowell, average finish 19th. Custer finished 9th. Average finish of 17th. Busher finished 10th with an average finish of 11th. Kyle Busch finished 11th with an average finish of 15.5. Denny Hamlin, he finished 14th. His average finish is 18.5. Chase Elliott finished 16th with an average finish of 10th. I don't think Chase Elliott's going to win this weekend.
Nah.
Last week in fantasy, Jamie, again, beat me. I had Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, William Byron. 2 of my drivers didn't even make it to the second day of racing. Total of 74 points. As you can remember the way we do it, the lower number wins. Jamie had Harvick, Larson, and McDowell for a total of 37 points. Overall, I have 1,034 points, and Jamie, his overall score is 943. Since you won last week, I picked first this week.
You'd think picking first would be a benefit for you.
Apparently, it is not even remotely close to being a benefit for me.
We're going to add in the Van Giz, SVG, Brody Castle,
Mike
Jensen
Rockefeller.
Button, and Kumbayashi.
And Mike Rockefeller.
And Rockefeller, since they're guest to our not the Indianapolis 500 race. So they're available to us to pick in any section.
Well,
Go for it, man.
Any section or just the back section?
I say any.
Well, then we could just pick all 3 of them.
Well, that's up to you if you want to put all your eggs in one basket. Remember, this is a race course that this will be our third
I say
trip.
you pick one section, and out of that section, you can pick them.
Okay.
So either the first, the second, or the third section.
All right.
So out of the first section, I'm going to go with Truex. Second, I'll go with Cindric. And third, I'll go with the Giz, SVG.
I am going to go with Daniel Suarez.
Sorass?
Yep, the Suarez. And I'm going to go with Brody.
All right.
Also Super V8. And then for my... Jeez, man. The last group is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
I'm going with Chase Elliott. Be a homer. Come on, Chase. Don't let me down.
I'm glad you're going with Chase because I picked him
Well, I bought stuff in Napa this morning.
and it's been hurting me. So I'm hoping he hurts you and I can catch back up. Because I'm going to need you to have a week like I've had the last couple of weeks to catch up at this point. I've had way too many bad weeks in a row, and it's set me way too far back.
So what are your real feelings about the Ginsburger?
I think he's going to win.
Really? Win?
Yes, I think he wins.
I say top 15. He could win. But I think, dude, on a course where everyone's had 3 races here, right?
Realistically, this will be 2 races. He's also running the truck race here, though.
Still.
He's driving a niche truck.
With an H pattern, though.
Doesn't matter. Dude jumped in his first time in this car, he won.
Oh, I love the guy. But you picked him.
I think he's going to win. I'll stand by it. I think he wins the race.
I would
like to see
that will be embarrassing for NASCAR.
I would like to see him win and Brody come in second.
I think Brody can do a top 15 too.
I
think they're a good choice. I don't know about win.
You got Brody in an RCR car. Which is good equipment. Then you got Kobayashi.
As Kyle Busch has proven.
Kobayashi is in a 2311 car, so he could be a contender as well.
Could be.
I don't think Jansen Button will do anything in the 15.
He didn't do much at Coda. So.
I don't think Mike Rockenfeller will do anything in the 42, really. I mean, they're good for a top 20 maybe, but they're not going to have an advantage. Look, I think Brody and SVG have the best shot of winning. And everybody can say they're not, talking about these other guys aren't used to full contact.
They are.
Super V8s is a full contact sport.
On road courses.
It's like rugby.
It's road courses with bump and grind.
It's road courses with tackling.
Yes.
So they're more prepared for turn 1 at Indy than our guys are, who have done it 2 years in a row and still like a bunch of ass clowns going down into turn 1. These guys are going to go down in turn 1, and I think they're going to be able to drive better than our guys. I think they're both going to finish in the top 10.
What is insane is they're on the wrong side of the car.
I know.
And Giz.
That doesn't matter to them.
Giz won Chicago.
Their talent level is just through the roof. Giz is coming in next year to run full time for somebody. And I could see him in a cup car next year full time because he's got a shot to win one of the 5 or 6 road courses.
So who do you take? I'm sorry. If I'm Jimmy Johnson, I'd take the Giz over John Hunter.
I'm sorry. Jimmy Johnson has a choice in the matter, though, because his Toyota.
All that money he's taken from Toyota?
Yeah. Well, look at all the money KBM lost when they got rid of Toyota and went to Chevy. So Toyota's got deeper pockets.
Do you think Snackhouse will go ahead and give him a ride in their 3rd car? He's going to have to qualify, isn't he? Or do they have a charter for it? I don't know.
No, they've only got. He would have to qualify in the 91.
Yeah, he had to qualify for Chicago, didn't he?
But that's against what that whole program is built for. I mean, heck, Denny could throw him in a car. But I think Chevy would be crazy to let him go. He's going to bring sponsorship.
Well, he's already in a Chevy and Super V8s too, so.
It just makes sense to keep him in the Chevy family to me.
So who has a ride? Who do you, just spitballing here, who do you think has a ride for the Giz?
Nobody really. Maybe. You want me to throw out here? I'm going to throw out a wild ass guess. But it's also the thing that keeps floating to the top of my brain.
Float it.
The number 8 Xfinity car.
Huh. In NASCAR.
Not the Cup Series, but the Xfinity Series.
You think he comes over and drives?
I think he comes over and drives for Dell Jr.
I mean, that's smart.
Where's he at today? He's recording a podcast with Dell Jr. as we speak. Or maybe that was yesterday as we didn't speak.
Well, I had a different idea.
But either way, he's going to be on Dirty Mo Media's Dell Jr. Download this week.
I have a different idea.
Dell Jr. talked about it on his podcast last week, and it sounded like he was keeping something from Mike. Like maybe Dell knows a little more.
Well, we'll find out when we listen. But I'm thinking, Tony Stewart with the lady that was head of Chevrolet Racing before they left and went to Ford. I don't think he's quite happy with Chevy. I mean, not Chevy, with Ford.
You think?
Yeah, he's pretty much hates Ford.
And he's running like Ford's treating him like Chevy's treating Legacy.
And Dodge ain't coming back, but he's driving Mopar at the drag races. I'm saying Tony comes back to Chevy where he belongs, where he won his last championship, and he's going to bring the Giz.
I mean, you could put the Giz in the 10.
And Red Bull will be a sponsor because he's already lost massive sponsorship.
Eric Amarillo can retire to China.
He can drive the 10 in a Chevy. Red Bull sponsoring.
Yeah, I could see SVG driving for Chevrolet. Stuart Haas. Haas retires out, sells his portion of the team to Dale Jr., and then the Giz drives the number 8 for Junior Motorsports part-time and drives full-time for Tony Stewart.
Buddies with Tony Stewart.
And it'll be
they could combine their Xfinity team with their Chevy Cup team.
And it'll be called Junior Smoke. Smoke Junior.
I'm all for it.
It's just something.
Let's go for it.
I'm all for it. All right, that's all I got this week. You got anything else?
Well, we're on our way to 1 million subscribers, Brad.
On our way. Well,
so subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely subscribe on YouTube.
Click the like button.
Wherever it is. Subscribe. Yeah. Subscribe's
No,
over here.
I think, is it a heart up here?
Likes down here.
You know me and social media.
I know. You have no idea where you're at.
I watch YouTube on television.
You don't even know what state you're in.
I know what state of mind I'm in.
So, and make sure you let us know if you watch the show or listen to the show. DM us, leave a message in the comments, however you want to get in touch with us. Just let us know, and we'll dedicate a whole episode to you. Like I said, this week's episode is number 71, and it is dedicated to Janet and Eric. So,
yeah, thanks, Janet and Eric.
We greatly appreciate
top listeners
guys.
There.
Y'all are our West Virginia family at this point.
I think they're going to have a great time at Eldora.
I do too.
I think it's going to be awesome.
I've already talked to Janet. She's going to hook us up with some great video from Eldora. So
she's
RCB Mafia strikes again. We'll be posting.
She's like the OG member.
Oh, no doubt. Y'all make sure you watch our YouTube shorts. We'll have some shorts from Janet and Eric at Eldora. That's our X race on there. So thank you to everybody who listens.
Do you like us on Facebook or do you follow us? You follow us, right? Or is it just a regular account where you
follow, like us? You go to our Facebook
do your friendship?
How about this? You go to our Facebook, Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast page, and you do what you do there. I don't know what you do there, but you know. If you can find it, you know what to do when you get there.
And you
do that thing that you do when you get there.
Yeah, you probably already know more than we know about
you, boo.
The FB.
We don't do that stuff. We don't know.
You can help us. We can do a Zoom call, and you can give us a tutorial.
You can teach Jamie.
Probably not.
Doubt it.
Ask my wife if she's taught me anything.
But
shut up.
Thanks to everybody who listens. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks for sharing the show. Share us on social media. Share us with your friends. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and check out all our videos. Check us out on Spotify and rate us there.
I prefer Spotify. I don't want to down anybody else, but
I like Spotify. That's what I use, but subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review like Brandon did. We greatly appreciate it.
Oh, he did it on the Apple?
Yeah. Send us a DM, send us an email, leave us a comment.
Thanks, Brandon.
Our email address is racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. Let us know you listen. We'll dedicate a show to you. And make sure to check out our merch store and our website, racecarbackwards.com or racecarbackwards.threadless.com. Other than that, that's all I got.
Make a few pennies off of that.
I think
we can throw into a more
18
substantial recording.
We can almost get a candle.
Yeah, you got what? 25, 23 cents for the T-shirt I bought that fell apart?
Don't
we removed the T-shirts.
Yeah, we
removed them
off.
They suck.
We're going to stick with stickers and things like that.
Yes.
Things that we know aren't falling apart. So, but other than that, y'all have a great week, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
You just listened to Race Car Spelled Backwards. For that, we thank you.